Hey, what's up, guys? So we're back again for another cooking episode. And tonight, I've decided to cook another popular Filipino noodle dish. And this noodle dish, guys, is like one of my favorite. Especially like what I mean, like growing up back home. I remember when I'm like going to school, every time the recess time, I always like go in the back of the school to eat this one. And this noodle dish, I'm pretty sure it's popular even out in the world. It's called the bihon or stir fried rice noodle dish. So, and in my opinion, guys, I think like the Filipino noodles. I mean, I'm not being biased or anything because I'm Filipino, but I think they're really, if not the best, guys, they're really on top of the list when it comes to like like flavor and and then the deliciousness in creating just the dish in general. So tonight I've decided to cook this one, and then we're gonna be using chicken and then shrimp. I love to use shrimps on everything, guys, on all the noodles, because they enhance the flavor of the dish. They just put more flavor in there. So just like always, guys, so we'll go through the process of going through the dish. I mean the ingredients, and then we'll go in the process of the dish. And like always, what I've been saying, even when I first cooked the thing like the pancit canton or something like that, the preparation, it's the one that takes forever to do this dish. But once you get over that the process, then everything should be like streamlined. So we'll go through the ingredients, and then and then I'll show you guys on how I cook and try to enhance the flavor of this dish. I mean, in my opinion, that's how I put more flavor, and that's how I make it more like delicious than. I mean, it's already delicious the way it is, but enhancing it more. I feel like the way I do it, it just add more elevation on the dish. So let's do it, guys. All right, guys, we'll start with the with the main ingredients. Rice stick, because we're be creating this bihon, and like what I said, it's stir fried rice noodle Filipino noodle dish. So that's what I'm gonna be using. I love to use this brand. I don't know what's the brand out there that's like really good, guys, but I know in the US, this is my go-to noodles. This excellent brand, and it always like do the job for me whenever I'm cooking this one. Like what I said, we're gonna be cooking chicken. So I have deboned breast chicken here. I also have the head-on shrimp, the shrimps here. And then for our the vegetable, and like what I said, it takes a while because you need to prep all this one. So we have the green beans, or the baguio beans we call it back home. I think we call this one chicharo back home, or the snow peas in here in the US, or in English. And then so I was able to find this premium matchsticks carrots, guys, and that way I don't have to do the julienne cut anymore. This will save me a lot of time preparing this dish, because the julienne cut, it always takes forever when it comes to like the carrots. And then I have a cabbage, a whole cabbage. I'm going to be using the whole cabbage on this dish. And then I also use towards the end Italian parsley. This will give a lot of flavor on the dish, guys. This one right here. So we're gonna be using this one, like what I said, towards the end. And then for our sauce that we're gonna be using, I always been telling you guys this one. So every time I use the soy sauce, I always use this one on top of it, because this one just kind of like elevating more flavor whenever I'm using this too. So this always comes like hand in hand, guys, or in tandem every time I cook something that requires like a soy sauce. In my opinion, that's how I do it. And then of course we're gonna be using oyster sauce to give more flavor on our dish. I'm also gonna be using. I know in the Philippines, and I know like whenever you Google this one, I always see like a peanut oil. But in my opinion, guys, the sesame oil, it's the best one for me when it comes to like cooking all our dishes. But it's probably not the traditional type, but I'm just telling you guys, like in my experience, this gives a lot of flavor when it comes on cooking our noodles dishes. And then we're gonna be using black pepper ground. I mean, I got salt in here. We're gonna be using broth again. So this one, I love to use it better than just like using like a regular water. So we're gonna be using another broth, chicken broth, and then we're gonna be using maybe like one of those beef or chicken or pork bouillon, which I have in the fridge. But I don't have it here, but we're gonna be using another one of those one. So just like always, guys, I'll start creating room in here. I'm gonna start like prepping the vegetable, and then I'm probably not gonna show you guys how I prep the vegetable because it takes like forever. And then I prep the meats and the shrimps, and then we'll go in the process of cooking this one step by step when I'm done prepping all these ingredients. So we'll be back. And before I forgot, guys, they were buried underneath, so that's why I almost forgot about this too. Onions, it's not gonna go anywhere, as everyone knows, and then garlic. Every time we cook a lot of this Filipino dishes, so it's not gonna go anywhere. And then I have the like what I said, the beef bouillon. So I just don't want to forget about it. And now I'm gonna get everything ready, and then we'll start cooking this noodle dish. Alright guys, I'm finally done prepping all this vegetable. Like what I said, this is the only thing that takes a minute, and then after this, it's just about like cooking everything the way, in order to create this delicious Filipino noodle dish. So these are the Baguio beans, or the green beans, guys. These are the what do you call it, snow peas. Of course, we have the onions and garlic, and then like what I said, I don't have to cut them julienne anymore because I found this matchsticks ready to eat in the store. And then the cabbage, I just cut them like this. And then the chicken, I cut it to kind of like a cube size bites. And then the shrimp, I just removed the skin and the head, but I try to keep all the the head membrane, if you call it, in there, because that's gonna give a lot of flavoring on our noodle dish. And then for garnishing, I'm just like soaking it in water right now just to clean what's in there, this Italian parsley, and then later on we'll use it towards the end, like what I said. All right, guys, that's everything in here. Now we can finally move in the the stove area to start creating this dish. Alright guys, we're here. Like what I said, we're about to start the process of cooking this delicious Filipino noodle dish. Just like how I did it last time, and majority of the whenever I'm cooking all this dishes, guys, it requires like a lot of vegetable. I always try to cook the vegetable first, and then we'll remove it and then put it back again later on. In that way, we don't have to like overcook them. So we'll start with the what do you call it? This green string beans, guys, because these are a little harder. So I'll start with the ones that are takes a little little bit of cooking to get them cook first, and then we'll go with the rest of it. So we'll start with this green beans. You just have to be careful, guys, whenever you guys are doing that. So, when there's like water and then the oil is a little hot, so just be aware of that. So probably gonna cook this one for like a couple minutes, and then we'll follow the snow peas, and then the rest of the vegetables from there. Alright guys, now we're gonna include the put the snow peas down. Same for maybe like a couple minutes. Alright, and then we're gonna include our carrots. So probably gonna cook this one for like a minute because they're like really thinly cut already. So we're just gonna like what I said, for like a minute, and then we'll add our last veggie in there, which is the cabbage. Alright, now we're gonna add our cabbage. Probably gonna cook this one for like a couple minutes, and we're gonna season it a little, guys, with salt and pepper, just to put a little bit of flavoring on our veggies, and then we'll season the rest of the noodle later on. Yeah, I don't know about you guys. If you guys are wondering, I prepared my noodles with lots of veggies, guys, because like we're trying to get as much as nutrients as possible. Whenever we cook with all the especially if there's like a lot of vegetables. So I prepared to actually put more veggies than noodles every time I cook this dish. So we're gonna cook this one, and then we'll come back when it's all done. All right, now we're gonna lower our heat, and then like what I said, we're gonna be transferring our veggies on the side for now, because we don't want to overcook this one, guys. Especially once you added the cabbage, because the cabbage you can easily overcook that one. Look how beautiful they are. If you know how to cook everything. And then if you're like serving this one too with your like if you're like visitors, guys, this will gonna make your what do you call it, their presentation like more beautiful because of the color of the veggies and all like that. So I'm gonna remove all of this vegetable, guys, and then we'll be back on our next steps. Alright guys, on our next step, no need to like rinse or clean the wok, guys, because we're gonna be using it on the same dish anyway. So the one earlier, if you guys are wondering, I only used like a regular oil on that one. So now that we're about to actually create this dish, I'm gonna be using my my toasted sesame oil now, guys. Like what I said, I prepared this one whenever cooking most of our dishes, like the bihon, this one I know. And I think that's pretty much it. I think there's like a couple more, but I just couldn't remember. But I prefer this one than like the peanut oil that you guys read or use. I think like in most cases. So we're gonna put our garlic. Wait until it turns like a little golden brown. Alright, now we can add our onion. Wait until it turns like a little translucent. Okay, if you guys are not aware of this dish, guys, especially if you're non-Filipino viewers, I highly encourage you guys to taste our noodles. Because like what I said, they're probably like, if not the best, they're definitely on top of the list for sure. Now we can add our the chicken breast. We'll cook the chicken breast, guys, and then we'll be back. Alright guys, continuing cooking this Filipino dish, noodle dish. So we're gonna put our beef or bouillon now, since that's the only one I have, before we forget about it. And then from here, since we're gonna put this one to boil anyway, this should be good. The chicken should be good for now. Now we're gonna add our shrimp. We're gonna cook the shrimp until they turn kind of like orangey color. And then, like what I said, we're gonna put them to boil right after. Yeah, that like orangey color in there, guys. That's like the membrane of the you know, like the one that you can find like in the head of the shrimp, and that's like gives a lot of flavoring on this dish. That's why I try to buy the one with the head on, because I'm after for that what do you call that part of the shrimp. And then once they're like orangey in color, guys, we don't want to like make this one like super dry. Now we can add our chicken broth. I'm probably gonna pour the whole thing, guys, for now. And then, like what I said, we can adjust. You can just like remove some of it like later on, if you guys don't want your noodles like like watery, or if you prefer like the kind of like in the dry side, you can always adjust. But we're gonna put the whole thing for now, and then we'll be back. All right, guys, we're back again. Now we're gonna put our soy sauce. So with that amount of the broth that I put in there, guys, that whole package, I'm gonna put like a half a cup of soy sauce for this one. That should be enough to make this to put like the flavor in there on our noodle. And then like what I said, we're gonna also put this nor. So this one just an 8, guys, like a little bit of this one. So just an 8 of a cup should be good. So that's that. And then yeah, like what I said, we're gonna put this one to boil, cook to make sure that the chicken is like cooked all the way inside, and then to kind of like incorporate all the flavoring that we put there so far in our dish. So we'll cover this one, and then we'll be back in a little bit. All right, let's check out on our broth for our Pancit Bihon. And then I'm also gonna add like sugar, guys. This will complement the taste of our dish. So I'm gonna put like 2 tablespoonfuls in there of sugar. And then like what I said earlier, we're also gonna add this oyster sauce. So I'm also gonna put like an 8 of this oyster sauce, guys. That's an egg. Gonna need, gonna try to scoop what's left on there. Alright, that should be good. Then we'll do a little bit of tasting. Yep. And then later on, I'm gonna put this one to boil more, guys, and then we'll put the pepper and then a little bit of salt, and then that should do our broth for our dish. All right, guys. Continuing our Pancit Bihon dish. Put this one on the side for now. Okay, now we're gonna add our pepper, ground pepper, and then we're also gonna add a little bit of salt, guys, just for flavoring. And then this one should be cooked. Shouldn't take us long to cook the breast, the chicken. If it's like a pork or the beef, maybe it's gonna take a minute. But since it's just the chicken, guys, this one should be good. So now we can add our bihon noodles, or the rice noodles. And then we're just gonna cook it in the broth from here. Then we're probably just gonna cook this one for maybe like 2 to 3 minutes, guys. The noodles. I already got the noodles soaked in water earlier, guys. That's why it's like a little salt when I like put it in our broth. But you guys can do it like either way. You guys can just like put it like straight from the package, but I prepare it like in that way. It's not gonna be. I'm not gonna have a hard time like putting it on the broth. So I kind of like soaked it in water, and that's how I do the bihon noodles. And then, like what I said, guys, you can remove some of the broth if you guys want. If you guys want it like on the like the dry side, or if you guys kind of like want it like a little bit of like watery like this. It's really up to you guys how you guys prepare it, but you guys can adjust. That's what I'm trying to say. And then we'll be back, guys, after like a couple minutes. So I'm gonna make a little adjustment, guys, because I want it like on the peppery side. So I'm gonna add a little more of this ground pepper. That's just like my preference, guys. I don't know about you guys, but I want this one like a little bit peppery. So that should be good. We're just gonna mix it up like well. And then now we can add our the vegetable that we cooked a little earlier, guys. So we're just gonna add all this one. So that's all our veggies in there, and then we're just gonna mix it up. I don't know if you guys can see it, man, but yeah, look how beautiful it is. How like vibrant and lively the vegetables are still. And that's how I prepare them, guys. I kind of like want them like on a little bit crunchier. And like what I said, we prepare to have more vegetable than the actual noodles, because of we're out there for all the nutrients that we can get. This one should be cooked, guys. And you can add like a boiled eggs if you guys want. And then yeah, you guys can add more. I know some people, they add like a lechon kawali too on top of like everything. Back home they do a lot of different things now, so guys, when it comes to like what do you call it, noodles back home. So, and then from here we're gonna add our what do you call it, the Italian celery, guys. Like what I said, this will add more flavoring on our dish. So that's what Italian says, celery in there. And then we're just gonna mix everything in there again. And then lemon or calamansi too on the side. If you guys prefer, what do you call it, the fish sauce too. And then a lot more pepper. It's really up to you guys how you guys want to do it. But yeah, this one should be cooked now, guys. There you go. Our Pancit Bihon chicken and shrimps meat in there. And it's already dinner time here, guys. It's like 7 p.m. So I'm just gonna start the plating for my wife. Put a little bit of meat in there. And a little bit of the veggies. Then there you go, guys. Dinner served. Let's go eat. Kain po tayo. Alright, guys, that's gonna do another cooking episode. Hopefully you guys learn on the way I prepared this delicious Filipino noodle dish. And there's a lot more, guys. Eventually we're gonna go to like a different kind of like culture, maybe like like more of a Chinese, or even like Italian as well. So there's more coming, guys, and we're, like what I said, I'm gonna share all the knowledge and experience that I have cooking at home, and what's working for me. I'll definitely share everything. So thank you again for watching, for sharing our videos, for all the likes, and for some of the comments as well. So but for now, guys, ingat kayo lahat. Peace out, and I'll see you guys on our next cooking show. The next time we're out and about, or the next time we're creating those delicious and nutritious smoothie. But for now, since it's like nighttime here, you guys have a good night. Peace out. Thank you again.